got it.
All right, we're here with OU head coach Roger Kish. It's kind of day zero is what I've been calling it because Big 12 starts tomorrow. It's Friday. Schools are coming through doing their workouts and getting ready for the weekend. Coach, talk a little bit about your team, your season, and just everything leading up to this.
Yeah, it's been a good season. We've got a really good bunch of kids. Love learning, love growing, love wrestling. That's all you can ask for. And so, they've endured a lot here, just a lot of highs and lows, and a lot of growth. So we're at a point right now where these guys are healthy. They're excited. They've done a lot of work here in the regular season and their preseason in preparation for these big events. So we're excited about this weekend.
So talk a little bit on that. Like every team I think has a certain level of injuries, but there's a little banged up or whatever. But there's some teams that are devastated by it. Where are you guys at on your health and everything?
Yeah, this is funny, right? It's about as healthy as we've been all year, and so we got 10 guys here, the 10 guys that we would have expected to compete throughout the whole season. We've seen portions of them throughout the year, but here they are. They're all healthy. I think our schedule was unique enough where we've been able to balance some rest and some strong competitions. So we're in a good spot right now. The guys are feeling physically good. I think their heads are in great places. They're excited to compete, and they've really done a lot of work here for the last couple of weeks in preparation.
So Wiley's kind of an interesting one to a lot of local folks. He's a Mustang guy and comes in. He had the world team experience this summer, and then only wrestled a few matches. Can you talk a little bit about?
Yeah. So John, just unique that he was number 2 on the spot here with the departure. He found himself wrestling on the world team this past summer or fall. And so he come back from that and got back into competition right away. And again, the tough part about that was just endured an injury early on in the year, which has kept him out for the duration of the season. And then as we started getting late after holiday, after January, he was starting to feel really, really good, and his wrestling was coming along really well. And from there, it's we tried to wait as long as we could to make sure he was as healthy as he could, and we're grateful that he hasn't had any issues moving forward. So he's looking good. He's wrestling well. He won the spot in the wrestle offset that we hosted right on campus there, and so he's looked good in his wrestling. He's looked good in his training. Hasn't had any setbacks or injuries. So we're really excited to see what John Wiley can do. We know he's got a lot of ability and talent, and he's proven it on the international side. But now it's time to come back and wrestle well at home.
So it's kind of unique when you come in, unseeded, I guess, and a little bit unknown to some of the other guys, I guess, in the bracket and everything. You hadn't wrestled those guys this year.
Yeah.
What does that play in his role going in? Is it maybe a little bit positive because he's not hitting these guys this year, or just talk about
it's positive, it's negative. It's wrestling. He might not have got the same looks as well. And I'd certainly trade a season of experience and competition for John versus being off. But there is an added bonus. He's as fresh as anybody in the NCAA right now. I know that, and so I know he's healthy. He's excited to compete, and I think his style of wrestling is going to create a little bit of chaos, and we certainly got big plans for him moving forward. And I know he's not going to be a match anyone's going to want to look forward to.
So we were talking to Matt Serber over there before we started the interview, but it's I can't even wrap my head around how long the tournament, Big 12 tournament's been here in Tulsa, and you've experienced kind of two sides of it. You did it with North Dakota State for a couple of years, now with OU. What's sort of your take on this tournament? And it's 14 teams. It's almost like a few coaches I've talked to described to me as a small NCAA tournament because it's a big bracket. How does this tournament, sort of get your guys ready, I guess?
Well, every match is tough. Not only is the physical match, difficult for all the guys, everyone here at the tournament. Every match is going to be a challenge, but it certainly provides a level of endurance for their emotional and mental state, right? And just pushing through and pushing on beyond. So it's certainly a good test for them early on before NCAA championships come around, and it's a big event, a lot of talented teams, and a lot of great programs here, and the coaches have all done a good job in preparation to these events. So traditionally, when we come down to Big 12 times, we're seeing the best of these athletes here at all these institutions.
So you've navigated 2 years, I guess, in Norman now,
and second season.
So give us like a little bit of perspective on all the things you saw. It's a unique time, I guess, in college athletics. It's the NIL and the transfer portal and all the whole world is changing in that regard. And you happen to come into Norman right in the middle of it. Just give us some perspective on just your first 2 seasons at OU. And
well, I tell you what, I'm really grateful here to be with University of Oklahoma, and there's some programs that are really doing this well in this new landscape of college athletics, and I believe Oklahoma is one of them. And our partnership with the SEC and the Big 12 has kind of helped us get a bit more familiar on different levels of college athletics. So we hear a lot from different conferences and how it relates to Big 12. So I've seen a lot, I've learned a lot here. I'm fortunate to be around a lot of great leaders, a lot of great coaches, and it's been really exciting. So and just in terms of the wrestling side, it's a great place. I mean, University of Oklahoma provides our athletes everything they need to be successful, and it provides our coaches. And you get to the institution, and it's an unbelievable experience here. So it's something that we're really looking at continuing to build. It's on the rise, and I know our athletes are really encouraged. Our coaching staff's really excited. Our administration's been really excited for what's going on here, and we're excited to continue to build this thing up.
So you've got a couple guys that we were kind of talking about before we came over. I'll probably talk to them in a minute, but Gavin and some of these other guys going into, it's tough. This is a tough tournament, but what's kind of your expectation for some of your top guys, but really just across the board with your team this weekend?
Well, I tell you what, it's the biggest expectation that we have is that we compete in every position, and I think that's an area that we've talked and talked about for weeks and weeks, is just to be able to compete in every position that's out there. And whenever there's a position that we're failing or we're losing in, then we go in and we explore it, and we spend a lot of time working in these positions. And so for us, it's having the ability to grow, make the adjustments from the mistakes we've made in the past to make sure we've ironed them out, here at this event, and just a lot of fine tuning that we've worked on our guys with, and really just preparing these guys to compete in all positions of wrestling, and that's what we're most excited to see how they do.
So it's local, you get some fans here and stuff like that. You get to be in Tulsa, and how much does that mean to get to have your conference tournament at least kind of close to home?
I think it's nice for the Oklahomans. There's no doubt about it. Hosting it here in Oklahoma is certainly an opportunity for our fans to be involved and engaged in this event. You got the youth groups that are across the street there, so just seeing the young fans show up and the amount of cheering that they do, I think it's a great opportunity to be able to pair it up with the youth event across there. What do they got? Is it Tulsa Nationals?
It's a version of Tulsa
Nationals there. Yeah. So you got thousands of young guys over there competing, and being able to have them come over here and cheer these guys on, be a part of the event. I think that pretty clever to be able to partner those together.
Yeah, it's basically the dual version of Tulsa Nationals.
Okay,
they put together a dual concept for it. So, but it's Roller and those guys. So it is a good event over there. So with that, and I've asked kind of every coach I've talked to this weekend, and I know this is hard to really put a pin in.
Yeah.
Like this is what I want. Like this is what success is. It's 7 qualifiers, 2 champs, whatever it is. But if you tried to put a pin in what you want your team to do this weekend, what would you say that is?
Well, I mean, the pinnacle of our success is for this event is to position ourselves to send 10 guys to the NCAA tournament. I mean, that's that's where we want to be. I think that's gotta be our ultimate goal. I don't know if you'd ask any one of our athletes that, what success would look like for this weekend specifically. It's to make sure that they end up wrestling in Philly. I think that's everyone's ultimate goal here. So there's going to be some hard matches, some tough battles. I'm certain there'll be a lot of highs and lows along the way here, but our ability to endure this event and continue to push through is going to be an extremely important one.
So with that, you've got some guys that may not. 174, for example, you got a chance to be an All-American there, but it's a really tough weight class here, and to win this weight's going to be tough for him. How do you sort of navigate, getting through this tournament and then stepping back in and maybe if you take a loss or something this weekend and going back and finishing as an All-American there?
Yeah, it's as we navigate it, it's really positional. As we do a lot of film review, it's being able to see where we might have made mistakes in our matches, and I think you probably fully recognize that as you get in those high-level matches, the little mistakes that we make or adjustments that we need to make that we can go back and watch and work through and play with over and over to make sure we can identify and fix those or find solutions to those areas where we fail is really the important piece of that, to be able to flip outcomes from potential losses to victories, is understanding the positions, finding our way back into those positions, making the adjustments, and having more success in those. And so, I think that's really what we're trying to accomplish. It's what we've done week to week here, moving into Big 12s, and certainly, again, want to be able to put ourselves in those same positions and continue to make the improvements for these guys as they head to NCAAs down the road.
All right, Coach. Well, I'll let you back to your team. I know you got to get some warm-up stuff in, but I appreciate your time. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.